So today we'll be showing you some tips to set up for more efficient lashing and proper posture. I'll include links to everything for my setup in the description box below. Okay, so you want the client's head to be right up to the bed edge so that you can get super close. And you want to get a bed and a bed cover that lets you slide your legs right underneath the bed. Your lash towel base should actually be a flat surface so that it's easy to work with. Sometimes I put my lash towel at the edge of the pillow, sometimes on the pillow shelf itself. And here I have a lash shelf for my main supplies so I can have close, easy access during the appointment. And the workspace is more elevated than the client's head. So this is a U-shaped pillow for the client's head to just sink in without making the lash towel part sink in as well. And then there's more workspace on the left side for me, and then also pockets for extra supplies and trays if I need. Okay, so when I'm working, I like to have the client's head right up to my chest area. If it's not, you can adjust your stool up or down. And I'm always resting my forearms on the edge of the pillows, so it's good to get a pillow that's more elevated on the two sides for you. I also always use a paper towel when I'm lashing. You can use a tissue paper or even like a thin towel if you'd like. So I just tape it down so it doesn't move around during the appointment. I usually use the stickiest tape that I have and just take a little piece and then just stick it right in the middle of the forehead without getting the brows. And there you go. Now you can comfortably rest your wrists and hands on your client's forehead. It doesn't matter if your hands are cold, sweaty, or whatever anymore. So since my workspace is to the right, I usually ask my clients to put their hair all the way to the left side. I have my lash towel and my jade stone right beside the client's forehead for easier access. This way I can lash faster with less space in between the tile and the eyes. Okay, so we're just going to get set up here to show you how I position my hands when I'm lashing. So when holding your tweezers, you actually want to focus a lot on the way you move your wrists. So the best way is forward and backwards, and not sideways from left to right. So forward and backwards like this. Apparently, if you move your wrists too much sideways, like from left to right, it can cause things like sore wrists, which can lead to long-term wrist pains or even carpal tunnel. It's actually pretty common for lash artists to develop carpal tunnel. So if you actually want to learn more about it, Melina from Lash Happy Club has written a really good blog on ways to prevent carpal tunnel for lash artists. I'll include the link to the blog below. And as you guys can see, I am relying on the forehead a lot throughout the appointment. So my wrists are almost always touching the forehead, whether it's at the top of the forehead, the left side, or the right side. It's pretty much always using the forehead as a form of stabilizer for when I'm doing isolation and even placing the lashes on the natural lash. And I do know that there are lash artists out there who try their best to avoid touching the client's forehead just because they think that it might be bothersome for the client or they might feel uncomfortable. But imagine if you're lashing with your wrist mid-air. It's just so shaky and it just won't be stable. It's going to be really difficult to isolate and place the lashes on with precision. So I always just recommend to use the forehead. And honestly, believe it or not, clients actually do think that it's very comfortable to have this light pressure on their head while they're napping and relaxing. It's actually very relaxing for them. And as you can see, for the fans that don't pass the test, for example, if the fan isn't symmetrical enough or for whatever reason it is, I actually just place the fan that I don't like back on the paper towel. That way, it's just super convenient for me to just wrap it all up at the end of the appointment and then just dispose of the paper towel. When it comes to doing the outer corner lashes, I know sometimes it can be tricky to see, but just don't forget that you can actually move your entire body. You can do things like turn your head over to the side, or you can lean your body over, or you can even roll your stool over to one side of the bed. Whatever it takes for you to see those corner lashes, you can move your body. The less you move your body during lashing, the more sore you're going to get at the end of the day. So make sure that you're moving around so that you aren't always staying in the same position for the whole 2 hours at a time. If you like to lash one eye at a time, don't be afraid to ask your clients to turn their head to the side. It actually helps a lot with your vision, and that way you can actually focus on lashing that one eye. And then when you're finished lashing that one eye, you can tell them to turn to the other side. Most of the time, the client doesn't even mind moving their head from side to side. Instead of staying in one position for the entire 2-hour appointment, sometimes they'd actually rather move their head to the right for 1 hour and then move their head to the left for the other hour. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you found the tips helpful. If you have any other questions, please feel free to leave it down below.